Sports developing news tonight out of Washington, D.C. The U.S. Supreme Court will decide if former President Trump can be barred from holding office because of his role on January 6th of 2021.
Yeah, tomorrow marks 3 years since the attack on the U.S. Capitol. President Biden spoke today in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, about what took place. KRON 4's Rob Nesbitt joins us now live in the studio tonight with what it was like for lawmakers on Capitol Hill that day and how legal experts are predicting the Supreme Court's decision. Rob.
The Supreme Court is majority conservative, and 3 of its justices were appointed by Trump. It will be a surprise if they don't decide in his favor with the ballot ban, but President Biden did not mince words today, calling Trump a threat to democracy. 3 years later, and the events of January 6th are still impacting democracy. Colorado courts and Maine Secretary of State have made the decision to remove Donald Trump from the primary ballot, citing his role during the insurrection. The U.S. Supreme Court announced Friday they will review Trump's ballot ban in Colorado, but professor of law at Loyola Law School, Jessica Levinson, says the decision will have precedent in every state. She's predicting a ruling in Trump's favor.
Expect that the Supreme Court will overturn what the Colorado Supreme Court said, that they will find that he is eligible, in part because this is the court that remembers what happened after Bush v. Gore, when it looked like they were the ones to decide the presidential election.
Meantime, President Biden is using January 6th as a talking point for his re-election campaign.
3 years ago tomorrow, we saw with our own eyes the violent mob storm the United States Capitol.
Addressing a crowd of supporters at Valley Forge Friday, the president sought to remind voters of the chaos at the January 6, 2021 insurrection of the U.S. Capitol.
Smashing windows, shattering doors, attacking the police. Outside, gallows were erected as the MAGA crowd chanted, "Hang Mike Pence."
5 people were killed, and according to the president, more than 140 police officers were injured. California Congressman Jared Huffman barricaded himself in his office at the Capitol, hearing chants outside and even gunshots.
My false sense of security just jarred into a very disturbing reality. I thought the Capitol was a fortress, just inviolable. And I had a rude awakening that day.
3 years later, and Trump's momentum with Republicans hasn't slowed down, leading by a large margin in the polls. Congressman Huffman says the former president has successfully whitewashed the events of January 6th with the majority of his party.
But if you look at polls today, a lot of Americans have a very slanted, in a partisan and highly inaccurate way, view of what happened that day.
The Supreme Court's order sets Trump's ballot ban case to be heard at a speedy pace, with oral arguments scheduled to begin February 8th and a decision to follow. Reporting in studio, I'm Rob Nesbitt, KRON 4 News.
Thank you, Rob. Coming up, we're going to